Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K.
I guess these are fun facts that I can feed into the... I will announce it too when you're down there.
Okay, so it's the same like hold on TV or whatever.
Same one we stream everything else on.
Okay, all right, yeah, because my parents aren't coming. Hey,
Hey, where is he?
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna come meet you.
For the match, please, for the match. Wrestlers for first and second place, please begin lining up on mat number 1. Wrestlers for third place, please begin lining up on mat number 2. For the match, please.
Try to keep up.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Simon Anderson. Joining me shortly will be Nick Morphew. He'll be doing your play-by-play, and I will do my absolute best to fill in the blanks with a little color. Thank you for joining us. This is the IHSA Wrestling Mahomet Regional Finals round. So what you'll see is on the left part of your screen, the major part is the championship match. In the lower right-hand part of your screen will be the third place matches. We're going to do our absolute best to keep up with names and scoring. Forgive us if there is a mistake or two along the way, but we're in for a great round of wrestling here, and we'll be getting started very shortly after announcements of matches. And I think a few words on the mat from Nick himself with a short presentation about one of our coaches.
We start the face-off. We want to make a special announcement here today. My name is Nick Morthew, and I've been coaching in the area for about 15 years. Most recently here at Mahomet, but I got my start at Centennial with Coach Ed Mears. And if you didn't know, he's retiring after 25 years as a coach and educator. So Ed, could you join me out here? So I thought it would be best to tell you what's special about Ed as a coach and what I've tried to, the lessons I've learned from him and incorporated into my coaching. The first thing is Ed has a great ability to read people. His work as a counselor and an alt ed. Who needs built up, who needs pushed, who's nervous and needs a joke, and that's something, a lot of lessons that I paid attention to while coaching with him for a long time. When I came to Centennial, we had probably the most diverse team in the state. Kids from all religions, races, backgrounds. And Ed's ability to make personal connections and know the wrestlers really made for some fun, tight-knit teams. Second is Ed can break down wrestling into its most basic fundamental components, and he coaches his wrestlers to their strengths. Now that I coach youth club and beginners, I definitely take this approach, and he's gotten a lot of great results from some pretty raw wrestlers by just a simple, direct, straightforward approach. Of course, he's had success with beginning wrestlers and experienced wrestlers alike. He's had over 300 dual meet victories, 28 state qualifiers, and 8 state medalists. Most prominent among those is Justin Cardani, a 2-time state champ who's now starting for the Illini. But also, we sent Centennial grads to wrestling programs of all sizes. In fact, 2 of his assistant coaches are accomplished Division II wrestlers. Archie Williams was an All-American. Not sure Archie is. And Jordan Williams was a national champion and 4-time All-American. So besides sending wrestlers to college programs, he's really helped a lot of Centennial graduates get on track in their life. And what you might not know is there are quite a few Centennial wrestlers who could owe their college degree in part to Ed because he opened their eyes to that possibility. So Ed, you've been an asset to Centennial and had such a huge impact, and you've had a coaching career that most of us would be thankful for. So everyone, please join me in thanking Ed for his 25 years. Ed just said his record would be a lot better if he wasn't surrounded by Bulldogs and Raiders all the time. One more thing, Coach Legendary Mahomet is nominating Ed to the IWCOA Hall of Fame. So if you have a vote, coaches and officials, please vote for Ed. One more announcement before the face-off. At Mahomet School, we live stream athletic events. So if you have friends and family who aren't here or can't make it, they can search Bulldog TV Mahomet on YouTube, and we are going to be mainly focusing on the championship match, but we will also be displaying the 3rd and 4th place matches. So search Bulldog TV YouTube, let everyone know who's not here that they can watch the finals. All right, thank you, and let's have a great round of wrestling.
And now your regional tournament finalists. At 106 pounds, wrestling for 3rd place. Matt Bicknell from Normal West, and McLean Pate from Centennial. And in the championship, Connor Kidd of Morton and Carson Nishia of Wilmington. At 113 pounds, wrestling for 3rd place. Soylent Racing from Normal West, and Corey Hoyle of Morton. The rest of the championship, Marion Moore of Danville.
Welcome to the IHSA postseason on Bulldog TV. Today we are bringing you the Mahomet Class 2A Wrestling Regional. This regional is the first step for wrestlers seeking a berth to the IHSA State Tournament in 2 weeks. However, there are also team implications, as the team champion of today's regional will compete in the dual team series. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Nick Morphew, former Mahomet Seymour and Champaign Centennial assistant coach. Joining me today, current Mahomet Seymour teacher, also a former Bulldog coach, Simon Anderson.
Hello.
Simon, how are you?
Doing great. Glad to be here. It's going to be an awesome round of wrestling.
Yes, Simon, now you grew up, you're a Normal community graduate, so you've wrestled in the Bloomington Normal area, you've coached in the Champaign-Urbana area, and there's always top-notch talent between those two metro areas, and we've seen that today.
Absolutely. To say that there's a different style between conferences and districts is, I would say, a safe assumption. Growing up, perhaps it was the divide of time from my high school wrestling days and now, and seeing the difference. But no, it was interesting to see the styles that came out of the Big 12, and then how coaching and wrestling had differed when I started, a coaching career around here.
Yeah, there are 13 wrestlers ranked in the top 10 of the IWCOA rankings, and another 15 that are honorable mention. So we will see some great place matches with a lot of talented wrestlers. Today, we will be focusing our main camera on the championship matches, but we will also inset the third and fourth place matches on your screen. The winner of today's championship matches earn a bye next week at the Mascoutah Sectional, which puts them one round closer to qualifying for the state tournament. On the third place mat, it is win or go home, as only the third place finisher will advance to sectionals. However, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, there's also a team component to this regional, and our current team scores are Bloomington with 174, Mahomet Seymour with 168.5, and in third is Normal West at 117. Now, Bloomington has 9 in the first place match, 2 in the third place match. Mahomet also has that 9-2 split, which is interesting. And Normal West has 3 in the first place match and 7 in the third place match. Mahomet and Bloomington will go head-to-head in 4 championship matches. So, Simon, I don't think there's any surprise at those teams at the top of the leaderboard. They're pretty consistent, traditional powerhouses for wrestling.
No, not at all. It makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, Bloomington, it's interesting. I think there's kind of a slightly different contrast between Bloomington and Mahomet. Bloomington has just some top-notch elite wrestlers, and the Bulldogs have a balanced lineup with a lot of very good wrestlers. So they score their points differently.
Yeah, and props to Bloomington. They have just solid tradition of wrestling for a long, long time. Fantastic kids club, one to be, rivaled, to be honest. To be honest with you, is one that definitely intimidated me a little bit as an opponent of theirs.
So we're getting ready to kick off this medal round here at the Mahomet Regional. The weight classes go in order from lightest to heaviest. So we'll start off in the 106-pound match. Will be Carson Nishida from Bloomington. He is a 38-5 sophomore who is also ranked number 2 in the rankings. And he will face off against Connor Kidd, a 28-8 sophomore from Morton. On the third place match, we will have Bicknell from Normal West. Matt Bicknell is a 28-10 sophomore, and he is facing Declan Pate, a 19-6 freshman from Champaign Centennial. And it looks like the third and fourth place match is underway. I will be giving you the main play-by-play and commentary for the first place matches. And the first place match is underway here in this first period. A quick takedown by Nishida, and it's already 2-0 in favor of the Bloomington wrestler. Nishida riding a Mills half and almost gets Kidd over the top. Then he surfboards it and is able to get Kidd's shoulders flipped. Nishida with a tight half here in the first period. This might be a first period fall. 1:34 left in this first period. And there's the fall from Nishida. So he'll get the 2 bonus points for that fall towards Bloomington's score, but he'll also get 4 more points for winning that first place bout. Over on the third place match, it looks like the wrestler from Normal West is up 4-0 over the Centennial wrestler. Remember, on the third and fourth place match, only the third placer advances to the sectional. We keep things rolling on the championship mat at 113 pounds. This is Bellis from Bloomington and Moore from Danville. Moore from Danville is in on a shot, but the action carries him out of bounds. Bellis is 44-3. He's a junior. And he is currently ranked number 2 at 113. Both wrestlers just circling, feeling each other out. Moore from Danville in on another shot, defended by Bellis. Bellis has an underhook on the far side, and it's going to come up in a pretty solid position here. 1:06 left in this first period. Danville in on a third shot, Moore from Danville. Bellis defends, reattacks on his own. And there's a takedown for the Bloomington wrestler. Moore up to his feet, working his hands, but Bellis returns on the edge. Hard sit by Moore coming around. Front headlock here by Moore on the edge. Looking to score points with 20 seconds left in this first period. Bellis still in control here with his hands locked around the leg. Moore from Danville locks up a cradle. As time expires in the first period. Moore from Danville will start on top, gets the legs in here early in the second period. Both these wrestlers look long and lanky for this weight class, so I'm not surprised the legs are in here. Not sure what Moore is looking for with these legs in, but he gets Bellis flat. 0-0 here in the second period, 1:30 left in the 113-pound championship bout. Bellis to his feet, working for hand control. Moore trying to sag on the leg and then lifts to a mat return. Potentially dangerous on the edge, and the wrestlers will reset. .106 left in this second period. Moore from Danville on top. Doesn't really go to a breakdown, but Bellis cannot get to his feet and get out. Bellis tries to force a crab ride on his side, trying to dig the leg out and flip his hips and come around for the reversal. 50 seconds left here in this second period. And there's the reversal. So it's 5-0 Bellis from Bloomington over Moore from Danville. Okay. 32 seconds left in this second period of the 113-pound championship match.
Folks, this is Simon Anderson back in the mix. Had to fix a few technical difficulties on score, but what you're seeing now is finally accurate, except for the weight class, which I'm on.
Bellis to his feet. Moore with a return, and then a spiral in the inside leg. A Merkle position here by Moore. The action carries the wrestlers out of bounds. Bellis, the defending state champ the state champ at 106 last year. It's 5-3 now. Sorry if I'm behind on the action. We were trying to iron out some technical difficulties here. This is an amateur hometown broadcast, so I apologize if your favorite wrestler is wrestling a bulldog in this medal round. As the second period comes to an end, it is 5-3 Bellis of Bloomington over Moore from Danville. Moore will start down. Looked like he tried an inside stand-up on the whistle, but Bellis got to the crossface and is looking for a cradle here. Bellis a little too far out in front. Moore gets the leg. Bellis trying to back trip. Moore still on his feet, fighting for hands, tries a neck wrench, and they go off the mat. 2-point match here in the third period, 1:42 left. Bloomington was in the lead with the team score going into this final round, and they got a fall by Carson Nishida in the 106-pound match to extend that lead over the Bulldogs. Here, Bellis from Bloomington working on top. Moore's able to get to his feet. Hasn't gotten his escape yet. And Bellis throws a headlock.
Huge.
This is going to be possibly more bonus points for the Raiders. Oh, but Moore's able to turn his hips down. Bellis still has that head tight. Bellis got the 3 back points, but it looks like Moore might get an escape here. There's the escape for Moore. It is now 8-4 with 56 seconds left in this third period. Moore's in on a shot. Bellis defends, goes around behind, but Moore hits a hard switch. Bellis has his 2 and then gets Moore broken down.
Now wrestling about 30 seconds in at the third place match for 113 is Racy. Racy from Community West and Hoyle of Morton.
Bellis in control here, up 10-4. 18 seconds left in this third period. He could possibly get bonus points for the Raiders, but there's an escape by Moore. It is now 10-5. As time winds out in this 113-pound championship match, Bloomington will get another champion. Chad Bellis wins the 113-pound championship. And next, we will see Carter Hall from Champaign Central, a 28-1 sophomore, and Carson Oliger from Bloomington, a senior. Carter Hall is the seventh ranked wrestler. Carson Oliger is an honorable mention wrestler in the IWCOA rankings. Hall trying to get to his both wrestlers trying to get to a Russian tie. Oliger drags it by. Oh, and gets Hall down for the 2-point takedown with 1:40 left in this first period. Oliger riding pretty hard. Very physical wrestler, it looks like.
Looking like that hard crossface, trying to go for a far side cradle. They end up out of bounds.
It looks like Hall from Central maybe wasn't quite as ready to go as he wanted to be off that whistle.
Yeah.
That was a good flurry by Oliger. Oliger is 37-8 for the Raiders. Riding that crossed wrist pretty hard. Hall looking for a hand, but can't quite grab onto it. Tries to stand up without one and then gets a hand, but Oliger gets him back down. Oliger with a big crossface again.
Yeah, another one. That was vicious.
He's got the leg in now. Might have a good chance at the far side cradle again. There is 35 seconds left in this first period. 2-0 for the Bloomington wrestler.
Hall's going to have to do some work to. Oliger doesn't have the leg in now, but he really likes to hook it. If he wants to make anything happen, he needs to work some donkey kicks. Oh, now he's in a little trouble here.
Oliger has the head tight, but doesn't have a leg in and tries to roll the Merkle through, but Hall gets the reversal with 10 seconds left in this first period. It is now 2-2.
Yeah, it looked like he committed to a little too much without having what he needed.
Yep. Maybe
That's a huge final seconds of that period to bring things back tied.
I know Bloomington has a strong off-season international wrestling program. That was almost more of a freestyle move than folk style without that leg in.
Right.
Hall on top now, looking for it. Roll through tilt. Hall placed sixth at 113 in 2019. So even though he's only a sophomore, he's got a lot of big match experience. Oliger gets to his feet, but doesn't get the hand control, and Hall's able to get him back down. Would you say Oliger or Oliger? That's a name.
I'd say Oliger.
Oliger. There's the escape for Oliger, and in on a shot, but drives the action out of bounds.
I like how he went right in for that. He saw Hall put his hands up to his headgear at the edge. He knows if he takes a drive, it's only going to work out in his favor.
Yep.
If he drives him off the mat, it looks good for him. If he doesn't get anything, no big deal. Yeah, you've got to be ready when you let a guy up like that, or if he gets an escape. That reshot can be brutal in high school.
Yeah, I like Oliger's pace. He's physical. Looks like he's always going after it. There's Hall with a nice tap and a sweep single. Now he's got to get above the knee and drive in to get that backside single finish. But it looks like he's content to stale it out there. Man, I'm surprised he didn't try a little harder. He was in such a great position there.
Yeah. Over on the blood match at the third place mat, we've got a 4-point margin here with 1 minute remaining in the third period.
Hall tried that sweep single again, but was stopped by Oliger. Now he's trying a little short carry, pull on the elbow, up to his feet. Oh, Oliger's able to break the hands, get out of danger. Hall just cannot finish these shots. 27 seconds left in this second period. Oh, there's a pick from Hall, and he gets two on the edge. So Hall has scored twice towards the end of periods, and he's up 4-3. Looks like an unsportsmanlike point on Hall from Central. And the match is all tied up 4-4 here in the second period, 20 seconds left.
Wow, that was a big point to be given up right now with 20 seconds left. I suppose we're still second period, but folks at home, you'll have to forgive me. Doing my best to keep up with weight classes here. I didn't realize that the two mats would not be in sync.
Oh, and here's a tilt from Hall, trying to get more points at the end of a period. He's got two swipes, three. Oh, he's only going to get the two back points, it looks like. So Hall scores 4 points at the end of that period. Oliger scored 1. It is now 6-4 Hall of Champaign. They'll start neutral in the third period.
Placing third is Hoyle from Morton at 120, right?
Yeah. Yes.
This is a 126?
Yep, both are 120.
Well, this is saying 126.
That's the next match.
Oh, that's the next match.
Hall's
Great.
in on a shot. He's going to finish across to the double. He keeps his hips low here to avoid the crotch lift. Oliger trying to work forward, crawl forward, get to his base, but Hall has that Turk, and it looks like he's got the cross face, and he's getting more back points. So Hall, in the past minute of wrestling, has added about 8 points. It is now 10-4.
Yeah, really finding his niche here in this match. Ollinger looks a little, oh, there I go, Ollinger looks a little vulnerable to those tilts.
Hall picks up the leg, looking for the mat return. There's the trip. Oliger gets off his back, though.
Keeps the arm like he should. That was a nice little catch.
50 seconds left in this third period. It is 10-4, Hall from Champaign Central over Oliger from Bloomington. Hall muscles over a turn but can't get any back points. Had that tight wing and waist, and now he's driving the half. 28 seconds left in this third period. Wrestlers will go back to the center. This win by Hall would help out the Bulldogs as they are in second place in the team score.
Nick, are you able to see a live update of tournament scoring?
Yeah,
as we go
it's 184 for Bloomington and 168.5 for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have not had anyone wrestle in this round yet.
Right. You got to love that technology.
Yeah. Oliger with the escape and the takedown is now
There it
10-7.
That's-
Ooh, and then there might have been a crossface. A bad crossface. I'm not sure what the call is here. If it's just going to be a penalty point or there are going to be team points involved here. There's 7 seconds left in this third period of this championship match.
While we're waiting here, we might as well show you what's happening on the third place match live. Looks like Mackin. Oh, I don't have track pulled up here, but Mackin versus Wells as time in the first period expires. Mackin well ahead at 7-0, and it looks like we had a DQ.
A DQ, yep. So Hall from Champaign Central wins via disqualification. Things got a little heated in that match. Bloomington will send yet another wrestler to the championship match. This at 126. It'll be Barger against Schnepper. Schnepper from Mahomet Seymour. Mahomet and Bloomington will face off in 4 championship matches. Both teams have 9 wrestlers in the championship match. Bloomington more skewed towards the lighter weights. Mahomet more towards the heavier weights. And this is the first Mahomet wrestler we'll see in this round, Noah Schnepper at 126.
In this tiny break in action, I don't know if I'll be able to slip it in anywhere else, but we'd like to thank our sponsors who support Bulldog Athletics: Christie Clinic, Subway of Mahomet, McDonald's of Mahomet, Express Employment Professionals, Busey Bank, D1 Networks, First State Bank of Forest, Jackson Construction and Restoration, and Classic Plumbing Systems. They do a lot of support for us and afford us a lot of the great facilities and things we have, particularly our ability to bring you this live presentation as we go back to the third place match. Looks like we're waiting on something for the championship match here. So
I think they finally decided to, nope, they are going to go ahead and go through with it.
Not making it easy on us. So
No,
currently in the championship match, let me get the weight class right. We are at 126?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Noah Schnepper from Mahomet. He is a 20-8 senior against Jacob Barger from Bloomington, a 34-14 sophomore. Barger was the 1 seed, Schnepper the 2 seed in this tournament. Neither wrestler is ranked or honorable mention in the IWCOA rankings. So that win by Hall from Champaign Central keeps the Bulldogs alive. There's still a pretty big point spread between the Bulldogs and the Bloomington Raiders. It is 184 for Bloomington, 168.5 for the Bulldogs. Schnepper, a senior who actually didn't come out his freshman year and went out the final 3 years of high school, but lost about a half a season due to injury. So I like the way he wrestles on his feet. He's a quick wrestler, lots of movement, and just wish he had that extra year and a half of mat time
Yeah, it's invaluable, and it's not one you can just make up with more work. I mean, that experience, you can't get it back.
Yep.
But like you said, I mean, a spry wrestler. He's got a pretty good attitude. Never lets things really affect him mentally, from what I've experienced.
Hard worker, always looking to improve in the room. Schnepper took that shot from kind of far away. Now he's down under Barger's short offense. Schnepper keeping good elbow control here, so he's not in too much danger. Barger tries to shuck, and the wrestlers go out of bounds with 1:02 left in this first period.
Also like to thank very briefly the workers we have going here for bringing you this broadcast. Of course, Nick and I here at the table. On main camera is Madeline Almerode, and assisting us on score on the championship match is Mahomet wrestler Peyton Ragona, and for the third place match, it is a young lady named Ava. Ava, what's your last name? Ava Berry. So thanks to them.
Things about to get restarted here. There was a little bit of blood. On your main screen, you're seeing the 126-pound championship match. Still knotted up at 0-0 with 1 minute gone.
And like I said, you'll have to forgive me. I thought I would have weight class displayed for the third place match, but they are not synced up in weight class. I think we're one behind over there. It's a 120 match.
Yeah, that is Tyler Macklin from Normal West and Dalton Wells from Danville. Schnepper in on a shot. Is able to get Barger on his hip, trying to hook that ankle, but Barger has Schnepper's right ankle trapped. If Schnepper can get that free and hook, he'll get a takedown here. 20 seconds left.
It's awarded.
Schnepper comes around for two. Great textbook finish there by Schnepper. Barger did the right thing trying to trap that ankle, but Schnepper's able to kick free and get the first period takedown. Schnepper with a meat grinder attempt there. 3 seconds left here in this first period.
Boy, I do love having you at my side here, because I could maybe describe a few things, but you know the name of every last little thing they're doing.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I try. So Schnepper defers. Bloomington takes down. Looks like Schnepper will try and ride here. Schnepper improving on top, but not his most comfortable position. We'll see how long he can ride Barger. So this is the first of 4 head-to-head matchups between the Bulldogs and the Raiders. The Bulldogs definitely need the victory here. Schnepper lets Barger go for the quick escape. 10 seconds into the second period. Still 2-1 Schnepper. Schnepper trying to find his rhythm with his fakes and his movement. Barger with a shot attempt. Schnepper right in on a reshot. Low double. Nice job by Noah Schnepper. It is now 4-1 with 1:20 left in this second period. See if Schnepper feels comfortable riding at all. Oh, Barger trying a hard switch, trying to scoot those hips out. Schnepper doing a good job, trying to hop his hips over.
Yeah, right. Rather than try to follow, he kind of felt get his hips high and hop over the opposite direction. It's working so far.
Yeah, and I think what's good about this type of action is Schnepper didn't look in danger, but it whittles a little more time off the clock in a position that's not very compromising.
Right. Looks like we've advanced things over at the third place match. Natris Morris from Champaign Centennial versus Mustafa Kanfar from Normal Community West. 30 seconds into the first period there.
43 seconds left to go in this second period of the championship match. There's another hard sit by Barger, but Schnepper's doing a good job covering those ankles and grabbing ankles. Schnepper gets riding pretty well here. He's got his arm a little deep, and Barger's gonna roll. Nothing yet, though. He gets the reversal, and I saw one swipe, but I don't think there's anything else and now potentially dangerous.
Would have loved to see Schnepper almost feel, he's not necessarily telegraphing it, but you could see Barge really loading up to make that roll.
Yep. Almost if he had time to run around the hips and get over to that side to take away Barger's leverage. 15 seconds left. Barger gets the reversal. It is now 4-3 Schnepper from Mahomet. Schnepper does a good job getting to his feet, working for those hands. He tries to turn and sprawl. 5 seconds left. Schnepper's got to break that grip. He does. There's the point. Schnepper gets a valuable point there.
I'm sure Coach Ledden, who's happy with that effort, would have loved to see just a last-second effort at the edge, driving forward for a reshot, but worked out in his favor. It's now a 2-point margin.
Schnepper chooses down. He got the escape right away last time they started in this position. Schnepper tries an inside stand-up that was blocked. Barger has kind of a mix between a spiral and a crossface, then goes for the legs in.
Things ending in the first period on their feet still, 0-0 for Kenfar and Morris in the third place match at 126.
Yep. Schnepper still battling on bottom here. He has a 5-3 lead. In this position, he doesn't look like he's in danger, but just being on bottom, I don't know. I don't like being in this position because you're always in danger of a potential turn. Schnepper looks like he's fighting hands well, kept a good base there.
I think the official doing a good job at that point. He knows it's a high-stakes match. It's the third period. It's a 2-point margin. Time spent too long with no progress either way. Just end things and stalemate and put them back at a neutral referee's position.
Big action on the third place West on the third place match as Normal West gets the fall. Normal West was third in the team standings coming into this round.
That's always a tough one. The young man, it looks like kind of far from Centennial. Not sure if he's hurt, but it is a tough loss knowing that. That's why they call it the blood round, the blood match. He won't be continuing on to sectionals and not too pleased about it.
Yeah, you could see they have 2 refs on that third place match for that reason, because someone's season is coming to an end on that mat. Schnepper staying in okay position here. Barger's working. He's got the leg in, so I don't think Schnepper will be called for stalling.
We're down to the final 30 seconds.
Barger putting good forward pressure here. He's still down 2, and he hasn't been able to get really anything that looks threatening. Schnepper gets his base underneath him now. Barger with the crossface. Schnepper still fighting hands. Oh, a roll through tilt by Barger. Woo, and Schnepper gets to his belly. 10 seconds left here. Oh, Barger trying to jump across for a cheap 2. Schnepper keeping a good base, and Schnepper will win 5-3. That was a big win for the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Try and make up some deficit.
Victory points and place points, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, so just to remind everyone, wrestlers earn 2 points for every win in the championship bracket, 1 point for every win in the consolation bracket. Then there are bonus points for margin of victory, 2 points for a fall, 1.5 for a tech fall, and 1 for a major. But also, there are placement points. So if you get first place, you earn 14 points for your team. Second is 10, third is 7, and fourth is 4.
Somebody did their research there. Pretty sure we were spitting out all kinds of wrong numbers
a couple
weeks ago.
Yeah. Yep. So actually, when wrestlers come into this round, as Heinold from Mahomet gets in on a high crotch. This is Lair from West, grabbing ankles and defending well. Heinold is able to get up to a high post, throws the legs off and tries to turn in and gets behind the arms, and that's 2 for Heinold from Mahomet.
Huge. Looks like a lot of action happening over in the third place mat also. Some high and a lot going on over there.
A lot of rolling through around over there. Heinold will be on top with 1:32 left. Lair gets right to his feet though, and Heinold decides to cut him. Heinold and Schnepper are very similar wrestlers on their feet, as there's Lairs in on a shot. Heinold with good hips, though. Now with the belly whizzer knee block, and he's trying to spin but can't. Braden just needs to keep pressure on that head and keep circling to his free leg, and he does. Gets around behind. Great shot defense. You know, Braden Heinold is one of these kids. I'm kind of jealous of the way he wrestles because against great wrestlers, he never gets blown out. He just always stays in good position, good, solid takedown defense, and you saw it there. Heinold up 4-1 with 51 seconds left in this first period. Bulldogs trying to mount a comeback here. Bloomington extended their lead with victories in prior championship matches. Heinold, when he's on top, he likes to look for that wing. I've seen him tilt. He's got the wing in now. He's got the wing in the far wrist. 27 seconds left here in this first period. Heinold trying to get the fall for the Bulldogs. This would be big points if he can get it. 18 seconds left. Heinold has Lair from Normal West in danger here. 8 seconds left, but Heinold doesn't look like he has a very strong grip on this chicken wing, and Lair gets to his belly, but Heinold gets the 3 back points. It is now 7-1, Heinold from Mahomet. Coming into this match, both of these wrestlers are honorable mention in the IWCOA rankings. Braden Heinold, the sophomore, at 25-4. Lair at 27-10 for Normal West. Lair does a great job of getting to his feet, but not really fighting for hand control there. And the wrestlers circle out of bounds. Heinold with the chop, looking for that wing again. He's able to sag Lair down. Doing a great job here. Braden Heinold, one of those kids who we've talked about before, is one of those kids you want on your team. Hardworking, nice kid, great student. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a Bulldog captain next year with those credentials.
Absolutely. Again, sorry, our screen only fits so much information. I know you're looking at names without schools. Third place match, Watch from Centennial versus Easter. Or excuse me, is that correct?
Yeah, Easter from...
Easter from Centennial versus Watts from Bloomington.
.110 left in this second period of the 132-pound championship bout. Heinold digging in those wings again. He might have a double chicken wing here. He's got a minute left. Bulldogs could really use every point they can get. And Heinold trying to get the 2-point bonus point fall.
I like that surf attempt. He realized things weren't quite going. That was well done.
Man, Lair has some nice flexibility and strength, though.
Yeah, that's a heck of a bridge.
Heinold's really trying to get the fall. Oh, he's going to lose the arm, but get 3 back points. 30 seconds left in this second period. But gives up the reversal. So Heinold had the major and gives up the reversal. Is now 10-3.
Yeah, still 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in the entire match. Let's hope Heinold can keep the intensity.
We have seen Heinold struggle on bottom, so hopefully, pops right up, hits a standing switch.
I think he heard you.
Yeah, looking for that near side cradle. He still doesn't have his reversal
nothing awarded yet.
10 seconds left.
I'd be pulling that far elbow up, trying to break the grip. And
yeah, he's trying to step over the leg. Oh, he can't quite get it.
In that effort, though, is forcing Lair to follow him. Use a little bit of his own energy.
And they put Braden down. I think Braden wanted to go down. He had a good pop up here on the whistle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they must be confident in some kind of tilt skills or pinning combination. You're saying that was West's choice to stay?
No. Heinold chose bottom.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Now Heinold's getting cradled. Far side cradle by Lair. Trying to make the comeback, trying to look for the fall. Oh, Heinold breaks the hands and is now
Don't know
10-6.
how he managed to do that. That looked tight.
I'm surprised that Braden went down. I know, but he did pop up at the end of the second period and almost get that escape. Another crossface by Lair. Heinold looks a little panicked out there. Lair is feeling some energy and has really been after it.
This is where he needs to move. Those little breaks. Right now, Heinold's been hit with a stalling call.
What was once a major for the Bulldogs is now only a decision, and it looks like Braden Heinold is kind of fighting for his life here with 1 minute left to go in the third period. Another stalling call. That was interesting. Lair wasn't off the hips and just had the wrist, but Braden
I think that's an official realizing where we are in the match and wants to, the one who's looking like he's doing the most work, sometimes I've seen an official neglect the position and award just for sheer intensity in the final minutes here.
Lair pressing hard with that crossface, now gets the leg in. Heinold trying to rip off the crossface and belly down. He's got a 3-point lead here in the third period. Heinold does get the crossface off. Another stalling call.
That's with the leg hooked and locked.
Yeah,
are you
that
seeing
was
that? That one is definitely. I know I defended the official there a second ago, but that one seems way off.
14 seconds left, and Heinold fighting for his life here. What? And another stalling call with Lair on the hips.
Those final two do not seem warranted whatsoever.
Interesting calls. I wonder if you can't even go to the table and argue stalling. So Coach Akery just has to stay in the corner here. Braden is good on his feet though. Now what is this?
Yeah, what's happening?
This is a rule I'm unfamiliar with. It seems like if there's stalling calls that the wrestler gets his choice at the start of overtime. Wow,
I'm definitely not familiar with
I missed that rules meeting.
I did not go to that coaches and officials rules interpretation meeting.
So Heinold desperately trying to hold on to Lair, trying to get him down. Lair circling around and gets the escape, and that will be it.
That seems.
That's a disappointment for the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Definitely a disappointment there. We're close to a major decision.
That's one Braden will watch over and over again. I'm sure it'll haunt him a little bit. Let's just hope he learns what he can from it and he holds his head up at a second-place finish at this regional.
I think at this point in the season, you've got to go with the best strategy that for victories. And I think that probably in sectionals, I don't know if Braden will be choosing down too much. I'm guessing he'll be choosing neutral quite a bit.
I think you're right.
In sectionals.
Over in the third-place match, and I can change view here, 1-point margin, high-scoring match here. 30 seconds left in the third period. Anybody's match. Oh, watch out for that locked hands call on the brought down.
All right, here's another head-to-head matchup. This is Ryan Gardner from Bloomington and Logan Petro from Mahomet. Gardner, a senior, has placed fourth last year at 138.
Oh, excuse me. This is 138?
Yes, 138. Gardner at 45-5, Petro at 28-8.
Big finish here. The crowd going nuts that had come from behind. I believe it was just 10-9 and Easter wins at 11-10.
Yeah, that's what the scoreboard shows. Petro in on a shot. Gardner defends with the front headlock, snap down. Petro gets to his feet though. Nothing harmed. Gardner, if you watch him, he is very active and very physical. He's a lot of fun to watch. Gardner with the 2-point takedown there. Tries to run a butcher. Has nice forward pressure here. Is now trying that roll through tilt.
That was a very exciting finish to the third place match.
Almost too bad our attention's divided.
Yeah.
but-
You know, I didn't know how challenging it would be. I've just decided to ignore the third place match because there's a lot of information that you got to
It is.
relay. Gardner still on top here with 30 seconds left in this first period. A senior has qualified for state twice and then placed fourth last year at 138. Riding Petro pretty hard. 14 seconds left. Oh, and he gets the tilt at the end of the period here. He's got 2 in the bank, and the ref is starting to recount. And Gardner earns the 3 back points at the end of the second period. 5-0 Gardner from Bloomington over Petro from Mahomet. Current team scores. I refreshed the page. I'm not sure if these team scores are accurate because now it has Mahomet in the lead, and I definitely don't believe that is true. So we'll let Track Wrestling get updated before we give you updated team scores. Gardner in on a shot now. Petro defending, but he's had his arm wrapped over the head instead of pushing the head down, and Gardner's able to trap the arm and keep Petro on his back. 1:30 left here in the second period. Gardner from Bloomington working for bonus points, and he does. Bloomington will extend their, what I thought was a lead for the Bloomington Raiders. Now Track Wrestling is showing the Bulldogs in the lead. I think that there has been a mistake somewhere.
Are they adding all the place points and everything right away?
Well,
or?
coming into the medal round, wrestlers already have the even place points added to their score. They should anyway.
Okay.
So both wrestlers in the championship match should have the 10 second place points. And then if you get first, you get the 4 points to bring you up to 14 first place points.
Interesting. Let's see how fast it refreshes.
Yeah. So sorry we don't have an updated team score. I don't trust it right now because Bloomington did have a hefty lead. Now it shows they're behind the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs have not been on the mat that much. On the first place mat now, we have senior Chance Decker from Mahomet, and he gets the elbow pull to the short drag coming around on top against Roger Edwards from Centennial.
Starting now, I think at 136 is Demos from. Oh, excuse me. Wow, they 145. I'm way behind. Is Turner of Danville versus Hillard of Bloomington, and they are only 20 seconds into that match.
Edwards has beaten Decker twice this season. 2 1-point losses from Decker. Edwards got reversals at the ends of both matches to pull out the victory. And now Edwards is in on a shot. Decker trying to sprawl. Edwards comes up in a high post. But Chance has the arms trapped. This is a good place for Chance. He needs to hop over to the same side that he has the arm trap, though. He hops the wrong way. And Edwards is able to get the arm free, and now he's in a crackdown position and looking to hook the leg. Edwards should come on top for the 2 points here. Decker's doing a good job keeping the head trapped. 52 seconds left in this first period and a stalemate. Well, Chance trapped one of those arms. When you trap the arm, you're supposed to throw your legs to that side, and you can come around behind for the takedown, and he went the wrong way there. Edwards in on a double, head in the middle double. Decker traps the arms. Now he needs to throw his arms towards us, or throw his legs towards us. But Edwards is able to use the far arm and drape the leg around him. I'm guessing if Edwards gets another shot, there might be a stall call. That was a good attempt there by Decker. Now he's got that tight elbow again. Edwards blocking between the legs, though. Decker can't quite flip his hips. Decker there, he's able to get some pull on that arm. Oh, but Edwards gets his arm free, looking to spin around behind. 5 seconds left here in this first period. Decker with those long arms, keeping Edwards from going around behind, and time expires. 2-1, Decker from Mahomet. The Bulldogs really need this victory. The team scores show Mahomet at 172.5 and Bloomington at 172. Going into this round, the posted scores were Bloomington at 174. Was that wrestler disqualified from the tournament?
Oh,
And all his
interesting.
points went at 120.
Is that how tournament scoring works in that situation?
He must have lost all his points. So the Bulldogs have renewed life here. We think there was a disqualification for the Raiders. It is 3-1 here in the 145-pound championship match. This is where we need a stats intern or a runner.
Right. And taking it now down to our rules and analysts, so-and-so. Yeah, we don't have that.
No, yeah, we can't check in to New York with a rules analyst. Or I guess here it would be check into Chicago probably.
Decker finally gets his head out to the side, but ankle's picked by Edwards and flattens him back down. If he could just get himself the high post position here and not panic, although Edwards has a solid lock around Decker's arm.
Oh, Decker might be able to fish that arm out and grab the head. Oh, but Edwards rolling through. Decker avoids going to his back.
No call anywhere from the official. I think that's the right move.
Oh, but Decker tries to pull on that elbow and get that little short carry, but Edwards extends him and goes around behind for 2. It is tied 3-3 here in the second period, 45 seconds left. Bulldogs have new life.
Yeah, boy, a lot going on and more than just wrestling here.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks like there's been a here now we're getting back points for Edwards. But yeah, what an interesting turn of events. If that's the case.
Edwards is going to end this second period strong. There's still 15 seconds left, but he adds 3 points. So he's up 6-3. Decker will have some work to do, but if anyone can grab a head or an arm and hold someone on their back, it's Chance Decker. So I wouldn't count him out of this match yet. So on track wrestling, they list the wrestlers and the number of team points they're earned. At 120, Carson Oliger from Bloomington, it said he placed second, but it has no team points next to his name, so they must have been wiped out.
Wow.
That was probably a 20-point mistake there by Oliger. Edwards in on a shot. Decker has a far side half. That is not a very good shot defense position by Chance. He needs to get that arm free and come to a near side whizzer. Now was trying to spladle, but gives up the takedown. Who's going to get back points here? Someone's got to be swiping. It's either a reversal for Decker or back points for Edwards.
Well, Decker gets his arm out. If he's managed to hook the head here and keep that arm extended.
He gets the reversal and he's going to get back points. He might get the fall here for the Bulldogs.
A whole minute 10 left in the third period. If Decker can settle.
Lift the head, settle his hips.
Decker
gets the fall for the Bulldogs. Huge bonus points for Chance Decker and a regional championship. Well, I said that Decker can roll through and catch an arm or a head and put people on their back.
Boy.
Thank you, Chance Decker, for making me look really smart.
You are smart, Nick. Yeah, way to regain composure there. Decker was not looking like he had a pretty poor second period, but a little bit of patience and definitely pays off.
All right, now the Bulldogs seem to have momentum. Gage Granadino, the number 1 seed at 152, will take the mat.
As we wind down the final minute of the third place match. And it looks like Hillard inching towards a tech fall. Not quite there as he awards 1 for an escape.
So Bloomington will pick up bonus points there. At 152, Gage Granadino from Mahomet against Alicio Perez, a junior from Danville. Gage Granadino is 33-8 on the year and currently ranked 9th in the IWCOA rankings. Perez, honorable mention, at 33-7.
I wasn't at the meeting, nor have I looked online, but I wonder what they're like opponents.
Good shuck by Gage Granadino.
How they match up there. And a great return. Gage sure knows how to work his hips.
Yep.
And getting a good lift.
Yeah, I think this postseason is going to be big for him. He's always been very competitive, but he now needs to step up and become a part of that next tier of wrestlers. He has the ability to.
For sure. Over in the third place match, Hillard gets another takedown. Looks like our score just updated differently. I thought he was one more takedown closer to a tech. He's not.
Granadino where he wants to be with the legs in now on top of Perez. Gage, strong lower body, good length, uses those legs effectively. Perez looks like he's got some hips though. Bucking Granadino a bit. Granadino looking for the banana splits and gives up on it.
Odd finish there in the third place match, but it looked like
Bloomington picked up the victory. 40 seconds left in this first period. 2-0 Granadino from Mahomet over Perez from Danville.
Boy, am I behind on weight again? What's the weight class here?
This is 152.
Gee whiz.
Granadino looking for a cradle, might have it locked up on the edge. Perez staying pretty strong here, not panicking. Grabs Gage's leg with 13 seconds left here. Bulldogs would love bonus points here, and a 2-point first period makes it a lot harder to get the major. First period ends. Gage Granadino at 152. Looking for his second regional championship. Or no,
Perez
he did not win regionals last year. He got second.
Perez chooses neutral there, which seems strange considering the quick takedown from Gage in the first period. But I suppose after he just got rode the entire period.
Yeah, I think Perez looks to me like he might have some hips. So if I were Gage, I would get in on those shots and try and finish quickly. Gage very good in the tie-up. Gets wrists, has good sweep singles, good shots to either side. But Perez, Gage tries a snap down and snaps Perez right in on a single leg. Gage just clamping on for the stalemate.
Now wrestling at 152 is Askland of Central versus Gweether of Normal Community West.
Granadino still up 2-0, 1 minute left here in this second period. I'd like to see him take more shot attempts. He tries that shuck again. Perez in pretty easily on a single, but Gage has good hips here, stuff in the head, gets the far ankle underneath and the crossface and spins around for two. Great shot defense by Gage. He used those long arms to reach underneath and grab the far ankle and tip Perez on his hip. .33 seconds left in this match. Granadino trying to make something happen for the Bulldogs, looking for bonus points. The Bulldogs have new life here. There was a disqualification on the Bloomington Raiders team, so the Bulldogs are now very much competitive for this regional championship. Rob Ledden has won 5 straight regionals. New to this regional are Bloomington, Morton, and Normal West. The IHSA reconfigured the size classes and then because of that reconfigured the regionals and sectionals. So winning regionals is a lot tougher with Bloomington around.
For sure. Nick, can you tell us anything about where the team sectional is going to be hosted? Do you know that?
I looked earlier. I can't recall. I know it's the Muscuda individual sectional, and maybe it's the Chatham Glenwood team dual sectional. Perez with some shot attempts, but Granadino defending well. Gage, I'm not too worried about people getting in on Gage's legs. He has great shot defense, and there he spins around for a single leg of his own. He's going to elevate and look for this trip, it looks like, trying to reach down to that ankle so he can get the ankle up to his chest. Oh, and a nice dump. Gage did a great job on the edge there, keeping his feet in.
And good read, too. You could see he was trying to work his way down. Perez had a pretty good hook on the inside. Gage felt it, worked that dump really well.
Gage now up 6-0, 122 left in this third period. Bulldogs would love a major decision here if Gage could get it. Current team scores 178.5 for the Bulldogs, 173 for Bloomington. Normal Community in third at 138. Man, Gage has gotten every takedown in this match. Even though Perez has had the most shots probably, maybe you think about cutting and trying to get the major decision.
Yeah.
Two more takedowns.
Like Weether from West finishing with a fall. I missed the time, but he'll be advancing to the sectional.
And this Mascuda 2A sectional that all these wrestlers feed into has just been amazing the past few years. There's been a lot of very sneakily or secretively, I don't know. That sectional is. Oh, and here's Granadino getting some back points. He's got the major decision now with 15 seconds left in this third period.
Nice job there. Look like we're doubling up on Bulldogs here now in the third place match at
160. Brennan Hauser.
Excuse me, Brennan Hauser.
3 back points for Gage, and he's going to get the major decision and pick up bonus points for the Bulldogs.
Hauser will be facing off against Centennial, and it's updating. Name looks to be Navarra.
Great job by Gage Granadino there. As I was saying, this sectional that covers the southern part of the state, there have been Division I wrestlers and All-Americans from so many teams. Carbondale, Cahokia, Champaign, Centennial, Urbana. Now that we have the Bloomington Normal area, Champaign-Urbana, Springfield, and the St. Louis area, those are all really strong wrestling areas of the state.
Yeah.
Even schools scattered throughout, like Mattoon has put people on Division I rosters.
For sure. It's pretty exciting. I mean, it's a great. These young men, they're surrounded by the best wrestling conference in the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
They grow up watching these guys, and great role models in terms of wrestling to be growing up near.
And now we have Dalton Hall taking the mat for Champaign Central against Demetrius Tureen, a senior from Normal West. Hall also a senior at 25-3. Hall is currently the fourth ranked wrestler at 160. And action carries the wrestlers off the mat. Hall placed 4th in 2019 and 6th in 2018 and was a state qualifier in 17. So he is winding down to a very illustrious high school career.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid career. Nick, have you heard anything about Cardani's career at U of I?
So he's the starter at 125. I don't know if people expected that because Travis Piotrowski was the 125-pounder, but I believe I talked to his former coach, Ed Mears. He's 6-1 in the Big Ten right now.
Oh, not to interrupt you, but Hauser just pulled from behind here to get a reversal, putting Navarra to his back at the edge of the mat. 10 seconds left in the first period. Looking to finish things. Navarra's got his his inside shoulder still up. 2 seconds, doesn't look like it's going to happen. Sorry, but anyway, keep going about that. I was interested.
Yeah, and then Urbana graduate Luke Luffman has been doing pretty well at heavyweight for the Illini. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. You got to love seeing those area wrestlers. Any D1 decision to wrestle is a huge deal, but the fact that they're sticking around this area is pretty cool.
Yeah. But wrestlers from this regional and this sectional have gone on to all levels of wrestling. I know 2 former Centennial wrestlers that I coached. Darren Wynn went Division II and was a national champ and 4-time All-American. And Archie Williams was a Division II All-American. I know Peter McCusker from Rantoul is on, and Hunter Crowley from Mahomet are on Milliken's roster, which is Division III. And I think McCusker's having a great year at 157 as a true freshman.
That's fantastic. Hauser again with Navarro on his back. Really showing
There look to be fireworks that are going to happen in this 160 championship match. I know Hall likes underhooks. It looks like Tureen doesn't mind going upper body. Hall's able to slip under to a bear hug and drag Tureen down to get the first takedown of the match. Dalton Hall, when I was coaching here at Mahomet Seymour, got to see a lot of him. He loves that left side underhook to a high crotch, but in the last year he added a single leg to the other side. He's got great shot defense. So a good all-around, very strong wrestler. .53 seconds left to go in this championship match at 160 pounds. Hall has Tureen broken down. Looks like he might have a chicken wing, trying to either scoop the far armpit or grab the wrist. Hall sinks a half now. He's got the half in the wing. This is a tough position against a strong kid. .24 seconds left in this first place match. Yeah, but even the sectional, if you look at the sectional, there was Le'Veon Mays from Mascoutah, who went on to Missouri to be an All-American. Cam Caffey at Michigan State is wrestling now. Just so many wrestlers in the southern part of the state. You hear so much about the Chicago area, but this part of the state, the southern third of the state, is really, really good.
That's awesome.
Hall will take down to begin this second period. He is up 2-0. Hall, a two-time All-Stater from Champaign Central. Hall gets the escape and now tries to shuck by. Oh, Tureen tries a throw. Man, both these wrestlers like underhooks, under over situations. I think,
like you said, you're going to expect some. Expect some fireworks there when you got young men who love the sort of Greco tie-ups and.
Yep. And Peyton Myers from Mahomet has the Danville wrestler on his back. Mahomet looking for all the bonus points they can get. I actually didn't see the result of the Hauser match. Too busy.
Won by pin.
Oh,
second
great.
period. Yeah,
Awesome.
Very exciting.
Yes, so sorry, folks. This is a Bulldog hometown broadcast. We try to keep it hidden as much as possible. Hall getting Tureen turned and getting 2 back points here, going up 5-0.
Pretty good job staying off his back there, because he had Hall had a good lock, went straight down to his back. I don't know how Turrentine ended up getting over, but.
Oh, Turrentine, yes. I've been forgetting the second T in his name. Oh, Hall with a tight half. Gets Turrentine whipped over. 45 seconds left to go in this second period.
And he has got that forearm deep, pulling up hard. It looks like pretty good position
this is
here
tight.
for Hall.
And there's the fall for Hall. So another regional championship for Dalton Hall. The 4th-ranked wrestler at 160 pounds in Class 2A.
Another thing there, folks, yes, this is a hometown broadcast, but we're also, many of us volunteers and students running things, so if the score doesn't quite update, it was showing for most of the first period the previous matches' names, but thanks for sticking with us through some of those. Who we got coming next, Nick?
So the Bulldogs still have Peyton Myers at 170 over there. At 182, we are at the 170 championship match as well. This will be Tristan Parker from Morton and Anthony Curry from Bloomington, both honorable mention for the IWCOA rankings. Tristan Parker, a 29-5 senior. Curry, a 31-12 sophomore. Uh-oh. Myers going to his back over on the far mat. Oh, but is able to get to his belly. Good movement by Curry with some taps and fakes. Curry now trying to get a 2-on-1 Russian, but Parker hand fighting pretty well. Yeah, Bloomington probably last year maybe had the 2nd best team in the state. They were in the same regional as Washington, though, the best team in the state. And so I thought, man, after watching Bloomington's 2019 team, I thought that they might have won that regional last year. And they gave Washington a run for their money, but just came up short. And so now they are back in this regional, and then they're in a dogfight with the Bulldogs right now.
Yeah, Washington, they've had themselves quite a last, I don't know, however long.
At least a decade, I would say. 51 seconds left in the first period of the 170-pound championship match. Both wrestlers still trying to get a feel for each other. No real big shot attempts yet. Some level changes. Now we're getting to the point in the period where a takedown would just be killer, less than 30 seconds left. There's a shot by Curry, but can't hold on to it, but comes up to a bear hug. Wow, Tristan Parker got his hips down well to avoid a big move there.
Curry really doing the only, like you said, level changes. He actually got into a leg briefly there.
Oh no, Myers from Mahomet goes to his back and gets pinned. No. Myers, though, it takes a lot of guts. I think he could certify at 145, and he's wrestling all the way up at 170.
Yeah.
You could see the shoulder brace, the tape. He's been beat up this whole season, really taking one for the team.
And he's definitely turned some heads doing so. I mean, he's had some real highlights showing that he's no joke. He belongs out there regardless of weight. Tough kid.
So we have an escape by Parker. Oh, but Curry has that bear hug and gets the takedown.
All the action, all the forward motion coming from Curry so far. Or excuse me.
Yeah, Curry.
Yeah.
Curry goes to a spiral, but Parker able to get to his feet. Hand controlling out, is now tied 2-2 with 1:34 in this second period.
Moving on to the 182 third place match.
Oh, ankle pick by Curry. Nice setup there. Gets Parker down for a 4-2. Curry's now up 4-2. 1:15 left.
Start of the third place match is Harvey of Champaign Centennial versus Gray of Morton.
But a quick escape from Parker. If Parker's going to win this match, he's going to have to find a way to score a takedown. There, Parker's in on a shot, but stopped by Curry. Curry looked like he was going to go use that underhook. Now Parker's on the move, trying to get some shots. 44 seconds left.
I feel like if Curry got a little, I mean, he should have had a little more confidence here in his offense.
Yeah.
He's shown it twice now. Surprised with only a 1 point margin here, that he's not trying to put more together, but I guess he's scoping things out, waiting. There you go. You see a little level change from Parker kind of coming in.
Now he's got a right side high crotch, but Curry's got his ankle not letting him step up and cut across. Now Parker's coming up. He needs to cut across to that double. There he does, and he gets the takedown. I was really surprised Curry didn't try and sprawl more there. It's 5-4. Parker took the lead.
That was a huge finish to the second period.
Yeah, it looked like Curry was kind of taking the second half of that second period off and let Parker back in this match. The Bulldogs are definitely rooting for the Morton wrestler right now.
It's true. You won't, of course, we're trying to be non-partial up here. But as it stands, yes, in a tight race for first team-wise between Mahomet and Bloomington, a win here by Parker would be good for the Bulldogs.
Now a wing here from Parker. He's got Curry flat. As I mentioned, both these wrestlers are honorable mention for the IWCOA rankings. Parker doing a nice job of riding here. He hasn't gotten totally off the hips, but he's moving side to side. Curry from Bloomington really needs to use the edge of the mat to get himself a fresh start.
For sure. Still scoreless in the third place match. About halfway through the second period. Gray in on a kind of tight single, but unable to finish, and he finally does.
5-4 here in the first place match. Parker from Morton on top, goes to the ankle, 50 seconds left. There was some good movement from Curry. Curry looks like he has a little more life now.
Yeah, that hurry back to the center. You got to love seeing that. Really get in the head of your opponent. I think that's underutilized. Even when you're tired, show that stamina and gets right in the head of the other guy.
Parker goes to that ankle again and is able to stop Curry, get him flat. Parker with a tight waist and chop now, desperately clinging on to this 1-point lead with 30 seconds left.
Gets him flat, though. That's the position he wants to be in. He's got that arm extended. You work a crossface. Not quite hard enough, though.
I wonder if he'll get, Parker is working, looks like he's working for turns, but he has been on the hips quite a bit.
Right, yeah, you're right. He didn't really switch sides at all in that last 15 seconds there. It's
10 seconds left in this third period. Parker from Morton clinging to a 1-point lead over Curry from Bloomington. 3 seconds.
Desperation roll from Curry, and it doesn't work.
Parker is the regional champ from Morton at 170 pounds. Coming up next will be Colton Crowley from the Bulldogs, a 29-12 freshman, against Rush from Bloomington, a 21-13 junior.
Nick, in this tiny break, been meaning to tell you live here that your words down on the mat about Coach Mears and all that was a great start to the tournament, and definitely a man worth recognizing. I thought you did great.
Yes, we haven't had any Centennial wrestlers, so I kind of forgotten to mention that Ed Mears, longtime Centennial coach, is retiring after 25 years. He's been at Centennial his whole career as head coach. I coached with him for about 10, 12 years-ish. I was around the program, and a great guy to learn coaching under. Makes wrestling a lot of fun, and just a great guy. Has had over 300 career dual meet wins, and it was just a lot of fun being part of that Centennial program.
Yep, I've heard nothing but good things about him. Good takedown there from Crowley.
Yep.
Fought through some decent defense. 2-0.
Crowley's semifinal match was a little sluggish, so it's good to see him get a takedown right away in this first period. Crowley on the ankle and the wrist, spiraling. Rush doing a good job of trying to fight for hand control. Rush plants the hand on the mat, should be able to circle out, and he does. It's 2-1 now, Crowley from Mahomet over Rush from Bloomington. I'm trying to get the most updated team scores to see how this match will affect those team scores. Rush in on a single and gets Crowley broken down to a hip. Crowley trying to get the leg in the power half, trying to steal a takedown here. He just might have it.
Pretty good.
40 seconds left, and Crowley's got a deep power half in. He tries to crossface and belly down now.
One swipe only.
One swipe only. Looking at the team scores, the Bulldogs are up 188.5 to 173 over Bloomington as Crowley gives up the reversal and makes this match 4-3 now with 19 seconds left in the first period. There were 4 head-to-head matchups between the Bulldogs and Bloomington. Ooh.
What is this?
This is number 3 of 4. The Bulldogs have lost the first 2. Crowley trying to sneak out the back door, but the first period expires. 4-3, Crowley from Mahomet. The Bulldogs do have that's a good lead, 15 points.
Yeah.
Championship match will earn, if Bloomington won this championship match by fall, that would be 6 points.
Is this 182?
Yes.
Man, I'm way behind. Okay.
So the Bulldogs have it's definitely not a solidified lead, a guaranteed victory, but they have a nice lead going into these final few matches.
And definitely unexpected. If you're only tuning in the last few weight classes, there was a disqualification of a Bloomington wrestler at 120, Ollinger.
Mm-hmm.
And track wrestling show is still placing second, but in that disqualification, perhaps, we're not sure if it's confirmed yet, but perhaps forfeits his tournament points for his team, which is huge.
Crowley's getting back points here with 1:20 left in the second period. It looks like there might have been an injury or potentially dangerous. I think injury. Crowley gets the 4 near fall because the Bloomington wrestler cried out in pain. So Bloomington wrestler will see the trainer.
As he gets checked out starting right this moment. Oh, excuse me. Yes, right this moment on the third place match. If the names are correct, is it Harvey? Oh, I knew it wasn't quite right. Trail of, let's see if I can do this, Centennial versus Meredith of West. Am I right?
Yes.
Look at me go.
1:12 left in this championship match.
I think this is 195 at third place,
Oh,
by the way.
I'm sorry, that was the injury time. There is 1:17 left in the second period of this 182-pound championship match.
Quick fall, by the way, 30 seconds in for third place. It looks like Normal West will. Oh,
Nope.
Nope.
They didn't get an arm raised.
Missed something. I think it was the West. Yeah, Normal West got the pin there.
Crowley riding pretty well here as wrestlers go out of bounds. Bulldogs in the driver's seat for the team race. .53 seconds left, second period. Rush does a good job getting to his feet, but Crowley with a good mat return. Rush popping back up, putting a lot of pressure on Crowley to keep him down. 40 seconds left, and now it's 8-4. Crowley from Mahomet still in the lead. These upper weights from Mahomet are definitely their strength. If you look at their records, you have Crowley, Casillas, Renshaw, and Buchanan all in the championship matches. Crowley with a snap down and spin around. It's now 10-4 with 18 seconds left to go in the second period.
Now on the mat for 220 at third place in the blood round there is Gray of Morton versus Andre Hunt of Urbana.
Crowley with a cradle locked up here. 5 seconds left to go in this period, but isn't getting back points. I think he'll get 2. No, he will not. He got 2-1 counts.
The crowd begging for the 2.
Crowley starting down. Seth Buchanan at heavyweight's a senior, but Daniel Renshaw will be back next year for his senior year, and then Casillas and Crowley are both freshmen. So there's been, just looking at, we mentioned an all-decade team about a month ago that we were looking over for Mahomet wrestlers, and there were so many upper weight wrestlers there. That has definitely been the strength of this Bulldog program for the past 10 years at least.
For sure. You got to imagine those three, Casillas, Renshaw, Buchanan, finding themselves in trios in practice all the time.
Yep.
Really pushing each other.
1:25 left. Crowley gets the reversal. It is now 12-4.
Forgive me, I didn't see the finish there on the mat for the 220 match. But they're going to wrap things up here at heavyweight.
Another snap and spin around from Crowley. He's up 14-5. He has the major for the Bulldogs. Man, if the Bulldogs win this one, we might have to try and do some on-air math. It might seal it for the Bulldogs if Crowley wins this.
Particularly with a bonus point or 2.
Yes. 48 seconds left. Crowley's kind of slipping off to the side with that cradle, but has the leg in. Now going to transition to the power half. Now to the crossface. Good following and chain wrestling there by Crowley. Rush is in a good position, though. Crowley has to keep his head up. Rush catches the head. Crowley has a 9-point lead, so he just can't give up the reversal here if he wants the major for the Bulldogs. Rush looking for big points in a cow catcher position, but they are on the edge of the mat. Crowley should be pretty safe.
10 seconds remaining. Holding on to that elbow for dear life as time expires.
Bulldogs get another victory and extend their lead in this regional. That was a big win for the Bulldogs and Colton Crowley.
Advancing to sectionals, third place, Gates of Centennial at heavyweight. And that'll do it for things on the third place match.
All right, let me pull up some brackets here. We are only at 195 in the championship match. This is a head-to-head between Bloomington and Mahomet. Weltha from Bloomington and Casillas from Mahomet. At 220 is also a head-to-head. Brown from Bloomington and Renshaw from Mahomet. And at 185, Buchanan from Mahomet's in the championship match. So Bloomington will not score at heavyweight. But they have some head-to-head here with Mahomet. Mahomet has a 21.5-point lead. And I believe Bloomington can only pick up 12 more points here. Simon, I know you were coordinating some stuff off camera here. Mahomet has a 21.5-point lead, and I think Bloomington can only score 12 more points. The 4 points for a championship match, and if they get a pin, an extra 2 points. And Bloomington has 2 wrestlers in the championship match still to go. So 6 points. Each wrestler from Bloomington can score 6 points, and they have 2 people in the championship match. I think the Bulldogs have it.
Okay,
yes.
so backing it all up, you're saying
long-winded explanation.
The clinch is unofficially calculated.
Yeah, I think the Bulldogs have won their 6th consecutive regional championship. This is Weltha from Bloomington. He is, I know he's ranked here. He's the number 7th ranked wrestler at 195. Mateo Casillas, honorable mention for the Bulldogs. Casillas, a freshman. Weltha, a sophomore, I believe. Yes, sophomore. .56 seconds left to go in this first period. Casillas tries to get to a single. Weltha defends and throws Casillas off the mat. A chest wrap lift from Weltha. I think Mateo is okay, though. So Weltha, a sophomore, Casillas, a freshman. I'm guessing these two will meet up quite a bit.
Yeah, not a typical matchup at 195.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not uncommon to see some young men, in their freshman and sophomore years do well, but in the championship match, 2 underclassmen, that's pretty cool.
Yep. Weltha has some good movement here with some good fakes and some head slaps. He just needs to pull the trigger on some of those shots. Casillas controlling the center of the mat, though, and is going to shoot Weltha off the mat again. 22 seconds left in this first period.
Folks at home, if you're not familiar, of course, we're not showing the third place matches anymore as they've concluded, but you can find all the information and results live on trackwrestling.com. Just need to search for the tournament by school, which would be Mahomet.
So even if Bloomington had those, let's say it was 20 points that they would have earned at 120 pounds, this regional would still be in the balance and be very competitive.
Very sure, yeah, for sure.
Casillas will take down to start the second period. Weltha with a hard spiral. Casillas trying to tripod up. I wouldn't step over that leg if I were Mateo. Mateo gets the hand off the leg, trying to step up. Watch cradle here. Oh. Weltha gets the leg in, though. This was a major decision earlier in the year. I think Mateo told me they met at Granite City, and it was maybe an 11-3 score, but Weltha might have gotten back points at the end of the match. So maybe it was a little closer than what the scoreboard showed.
Matias really wanted to get his Weltha's forearm off while he's working that little. Boy, have I forgotten all the moves' names. This sprawl out when you get the leg in.
Just cross-face, hop side, hop over. The leg in for Weltha. Now, we've seen some interesting stalling calls, at least in one of the matches, that probably cost Braden Heinold the match earlier in this top and bottom position. Mateo trying to control a hand, though. Weltha has ridden 1:15 of this period, just 45 seconds left in this second period. Oh, and Weltha trying to bring Mateo across the mat with him, but
Mateo's hips just won't let him, though. I mean, he's a pretty solid base there, even flattened out like that.
Oh, Weltha might get a cradle locked up here. Instead, goes to his hips with the legs in.
Down to 15 seconds here in the second period, still scoreless. Mateo chose down to start this period. It'll be Bloomington's choice. Got to imagine they'll pick down for hopefully a quick point.
Yeah. Man, do you just the likelihood of a I think it's a low likelihood of a ride out if you're the Mahomet coaches. Do you just cut them and try and win it on your feet the whole 2 minutes of the third period?
You know, I don't know. The danger is not necessarily time, but perhaps something more than an escape happening, some kind of roll to the back, a big 5-point move. Looks like he's looking to shave some time off.
Mahomet coach is letting Mateo Casillas ride here.
Great mat return there. Mateo Casillas using his hips really well.
Yep. 1:38 left in this third period. All knotted up at 0. We think the Bulldogs have won this regional, so this head-to-head matchup probably isn't as impactful as it was when we started this round.
I'm wondering if what Wealth is kind of calculating in his head right now. This match is obviously not going the exact way it did the first time at Granite City. You know, if he should get this escape, like, what's my next plan of action? But Casillas, I mean, showing some solid riding here.
Yeah.
I mean, with a minute 10 left, I'm wondering if he's
Weltha might come out the side door with that Granby roll. Casillas' best hope here is to keep that ankle and maybe get a stalemate. Keep your hips down, Mateo.
Oh.
Stalemate.
So right there, Casillas kind of had his arms locked up around the leg. What's the protocol there? Because I irked thinking it almost might be a weird locked hand.
It could have been. I think the rules now, if you're on the mat and you're on top, you cannot lock your hands like that.
Yeah.
You know, before there used to be,
you
know, if you were grabbing around a leg and you return to the mat, or they would still let you lock hands, but those rules have changed.
Folks, we are in the third period, 35 seconds remaining.
That was a good call by the referee.
I think so. I think Bloomington was itching for that forcing him off the mat or some kind of hula hooping off or whatever. But no, I think there is plenty from both wrestlers taking it that direction. But 34 seconds left, scoreless.
Oh, no. Weltha gets the escape.
There's one.
Oh,
Matias
but
with a artery shot. Sorry, I totally cut you.
No. Mateo Casillas has 20 seconds left to win this match. 1-0 Weltha from Bloomington. Mateo right in on the attack. Oh, Weltha with good shot defense. Mateo with the arm. He's got 13 seconds now. Mateo in on another attack. He's gotten to the single, but Weltha has the ankle tied up. Weltha doing a great job.
Yeah, Weltha knows what to do to finish here, and he just did it.
Bloomington will get 4 points to their team score. We think the Bulldogs have won the regional.
Great wrestling there, by the way, from Weltha. He's obviously,
yeah, 7th ranked wrestler.
Yeah. From Casillas as well. I mean, I am really impressed with his top riding there. That was a hard-fought match and well-earned by Weltha.
Okay, yes, Bloomington got those 4 points. They are at 176 now, but Mahomet has a commanding lead at 193.5. So I think regardless of what happens in this 220 match, the Bulldogs have secured another regional championship to add to their banners.
Of course, remember, folks, as smart as our host Nick Morphew is. This is all unofficial here, just
Unofficial,
based on
right.
some things that he's put together himself, but that is the way things are looking right now.
Quick shot from John Brown from Bloomington, a senior at 24-2. He is ranked number 4. Daniel Renshaw ranked number 9, a 31-10 junior. Sorry. Daniel, one of the captains of this Bulldog team. Bulldogs finished the regular season at 22-1 in dual meets, and now they are going to cap that off with a regional championship as well. $115 left in this 195-pound championship match. 2-0 Brown from Bloomington. Brown just keeping good forward pressure. Keeping a wrist. Renshaw needs to try and build his base. Get his knees underneath him. Daniel Renshaw, a great student athlete. Just talking to him about academics and what he's looking for in the future. Definitely looking for an engineering field. Number 4 or 5 in his class at Mahomet, which is quite an accomplishment. So a great student athlete representing the Bulldogs here. Ten seconds left in this first period. Renshaw gets to his feet, but is run out of bounds with 6 seconds left. Simon, I was just saying Daniel Renshaw, a great student athlete. I think he's 4th or 5th in his class at Mahomet, which is no easy feat to accomplish.
That's absolutely right. Not to, you know.
Oh, and a reversal at the buzzer by Daniel Renshaw. Outstanding effort there at the end of the period.
Excellent. I think he just may have caught Brown sleeping almost.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for sure. Not to say too much about academics here, but Mahomet constantly showing their appearing in top 50 ranking schools just academically in the state of Illinois, and that's no easy thing to do. Daniel's definitely a top-notch fellow, not just on the wrestling mat, but character as well.
It's all due to great teachers like you and my wife, who's at home.
Oh, finish that shout-out.
So, yes.
Not to me, to your wife.
Yes, honey, thank you for letting me come and commentate today. I appreciate it. Renshaw got the escape, but gave up the takedown right away and gets it is now 5-3. I believe if the scoreboard is correct. Yes, lots of outstanding teachers here at Mahomet Seymour.
Well, thank you for saying so.
Brown looking to attack now with 1:15 left in the second period. Daniel's got an underhook. That's a pretty good position. Goes to a body lock. Going upper body with Brown. Who's going to step in front and win this battle? Oh, and Brown does. Gets Renshaw taken down off the mat. I hope Renshaw is okay. That was a hard fall.
It was. I think that the biggest unfortunate fail there for Renshaw was breaking the grip, which I don't think he obviously meant to do. There's just a lot of force there. What do we got going on?
I think
Was there no
Brown is cutting Renshaw.
Oh, I see.
Scoreboard says 7-4 now. 52 seconds left in this 195-pound second period.
Oops, 220, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry, 220. .45 seconds left now. Renshaw trying to finish off this period strong. Hey, I don't think I've seen movement like that from Daniel. So some fakes and taps. I would like to see him shoot with 2 hands, though, instead of 1 there.
Mm-hmm.
Over, under. Renshaw decides to get the head position and keep the underhook and walks Brown off the mat, and that's a stall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Renshaw has definitely shown a lot this year how he loves to kind of work those double underhooks into a grip. And that was, I mean, if I'm Daniel, watch your weight, but if I could show some more forward motion like that,
Yeah.
that's a huge turnaround here. Turns a takedown into a 3-point move.
Daniel's able to come around. 10 seconds left in this second period. Oh, and he can't get the takedown. I think he tried to, like you said, hula hoop, I think is what you used earlier, to fling John Brown around.
That was a term I picked up from an official back when it was a new rule about edge of mat wrestling and how wrestlers in control have that grip around the waist, and they make it look as though they're doing work, but in reality they're just spinning around like a hula hoop as they go out of bounds.
And in that situation, Daniel needed to get Brown's feet off the mat with a lift to get him down. 148. This third period just started. 9-4 Brown of Bloomington. This is the number 4th ranked wrestler in Brown against the number 9th ranked wrestler in the state, Daniel Renshaw.
Have they? Excuse me. Have they met this year?
I do not know. Yeah, Brown. I would say probably he's a good rider, but he doesn't look like an effective turner or pinner. So that's probably why they didn't want to ride Daniel earlier in the match. Maybe didn't want to get called for stallings. Renshaw able to circle and face, and Brown cuts Renshaw.
Still a very attainable match here for Renshaw. Renshaw, only a 4-point difference, but a pretty good shot from Brown. That's once a wrestler's that deep with his head high like that, Renshaw would have had to have the best takedown defense in the world to make that defend that one. Great shot by Brown.
What I've seen from Renshaw is he tried to do those level change and fakes, and on that one he did the level change and then stood up and stopped moving his feet, and Brown just shot right in on him.
Props to Brown if he saw it coming and read it that way.
Yep. 11-6 now, 28 seconds left in this 220 championship match. Renshaw will need something big. You see him trying to dig in and look for it, and he tries to sag back and roll through. There's still a possibility if he can get to the head, but he just comes out with the takedown. Renshaw with really the first chance we've seen him with the legs in, but it'll be too little too late. He'll drop this match 11-8.
To finish there with a victory for him, he would have had to really capitalize. I mean, and there was a tiny opportunity. He would have had to take Brown right to his back.
Yep.
And that still only would have tied it, I think, had he gotten 3 there. Great victory by Brown there, showing some pretty good stuff on his feet.
Now for the Bulldogs. This is their 4th straight wrestler in a championship match. Senior heavyweight Seth Buchanan, ranked number 6th, has over 30 wins. Last year's team MVP. Seth Buchanan, this is his first time qualifying for sectionals. Last year, he probably had the toughest regional bracket in the state. He had 2-time state champion Luke Luffman. He had Wisconsin commit and probably 1A state champion this year, Hayden Kopass. And then he had another all-stater from Decatur, Eisenhower, in his bracket. So 3, the 1, 2, and I believe the 5th placer in his regional last year.
And I remember, finding out that because he didn't make it out, right?
He did not. He got 4th.
And I mean, shocking. You feel for the kid because he spent a lot of time wrestling in his first 2 years as still a talented wrestler under
both behind David Griffith and Ben Stahl, 2 all-staters. Yep.
And he finally gets his chance his junior year. Has a pretty good year, and
should have been a state qualifier in any other sectional.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, if he would have made it to our sectional, he would have been the 4th place state qualifier. Oh, but Hufeld from Normal West gets the takedown. And Seth is hurt.
He had given Hufeld a little look there. I'm wondering if he.
Oh no. Well, we were just talking about how this was Seth Buchanan's opportunity. The Bulldogs could really.
Here's hoping it's just kind of a
hamstring strain.
Yeah.
Or it's just tightening up, maybe a cramp. The Bulldogs could take the medical default here. All that Seth is risking is a first-round bye at sectionals, and as I mentioned, he's the 6th ranked wrestler in the state. Nothing is guaranteed in the postseason, but I would think he would be a state qualifier even no matter where he is in the bracket at sectionals. Now it looks like he's stretching his quad. Originally it looked like a hamstring or knee or ankle there. Now he's stretching the hamstring.
Very quickly here, before we run out of time after everything, I'll go through our sponsors for Bulldog Athletics. Christie Clinic, Subway of Mahomet, McDonald's of Mahomet, Express Employment Professionals, Busey Bank, D1 Networks, First State, Bank of Forest, Jackson Construction and Restoration, and Classic Plumbing Systems. Thank you for all your support. And for everyone at home watching, the viewership has been excellent. So glad for you to make it worth it for us to do this today. And honestly, it's been a whole lot of fun doing a tournament style. It's our first time broadcasting, not a duel, but a tournament round. So thank you all for joining us today.
Yeah, it took us a little while to settle in between track wrestling and the two matches going on at a time. And Seth Buchanan rolls through, trying to get a reversal here, but can't quite do it. 50 seconds left in the first period of this 285 championship bout.
A little bit of uncharacteristic wincing from Seth is kind of giving us a clue that I think that might be bothering him, that injury, a little more than he'd like it to. That was a great roll effort from him, but Hufeld able to pick a leg there at the end and stop things.
Hufeld trying to whip over Seth, but Seth gets the escape at the end of the first period here. 25 seconds still remaining. And I don't think these wrestlers matched up at the Marty Williams invite. I think they missed each other. Seth going to a Russian, but doesn't have the head position. Russian 2-on-1.
About 4 seconds left here.
Hufeld, is able to snap Seth around and get the 2 right at the buzzer, right on the edge of the mat too. I think Seth is hurting. The Bulldogs here do not need Seth Buchanan's points. Seth is going to continue. Mahomet wrapped up its 6th straight regional championship, 193 points to Bloomington's 180. Those will be the final scores if Seth Buchanan does not win this match. Pretty impressive run here for the Bulldogs. Man, when they redid the regionals and I saw Bloomington and Normal West and Morton, I kind of had my doubts about this Bulldog team
for sure.
Initially.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good quality teams here today. Props to some of those Bulldogs who are wrestling in this round, getting us some bonus points. Even on the third place match, big shout out to Hauser for that finish there. The first place match, Schnepper, Granadino, all winning their matches with bonus. So
yep, and
showing a lot of heart.
And let's see here. I think the Bulldogs are sending 10 sectional qualifiers, 10 out of 14 weights, if my math is correct.
That's awesome.
Buchanan gets to his feet and gets the escape. It is now 4-2.
Takedown from him here would be a game changer, tying it up.
Yep. Yeah, I know top and bottom is a little at heavyweight, but if you're the Bulldogs, if you're on top in the third period and the score is tied, I would feel pretty confident in Seth.
Absolutely. Both guys here favoring the upper body. Pretty typical.
You know, earlier in the year, I saw Seth doing a slide by to a single, but I haven't seen that lately. I wonder where.
I don't know if I'd try that against this guy.
Well, his single was just kind of a snatch single. Oh, there he tries to throw by the underhook.
He could work an over-under here, but nope, lets that underhook go.
Seth kind of burying his head here, but pushes off, gets a restart. Reset. Hufeld trying to throw by to a single. Buchanan tries to throw by. Oh, he gets around behind and gets down for 2.
That was huge.
Yes.
With time expiring, well, almost 5 seconds
left. And now Seth goes right to the power half. Yes. Oh, he's got to get a 2 count.
Yeah, there's got to be at least 2 points there. Nope, and shaking him off. No, there we go.
No, 2 points for Seth. Yes, great 4-point end of the period there for Seth Buchanan. He is now up 6-4 over Hufeld from Normal West.
And boy, was the buzzer the friend of Normal West right there, because Seth was really about to lay into it.
You know, we've talked a lot this season about Bulldog wrestlers chain wrestling or being really aggressive after a takedown, going right to a pinning combination. And Seth is definitely one of those wrestlers who's always working as soon as he gets the takedown.
Yeah, that was great capitalizing of just, here we go. We're that half again.
Looking for the fall here, adding to the Bulldogs regional championship total. There's the fall by Seth Buchanan, and that wraps up a regional championship for the Bulldogs. 10 sectional qualifiers. 6 in a row for the regional championship. Outstanding day for the Bulldogs.
And Seth will be heating and icing, getting ready for next week. Hopefully that doesn't bog him down too much. This week the days of practice leading up to postseason events are huge. I mean, they're invaluable, especially at this point. A lot of teams with fewer qualifiers they lose a whole bunch of their team to spring season stuff, or just gentlemen that aren't interested in continuing practice. But those varsity athletes going on to sectionals, they need it. They need their teammates. And Nick, go ahead and take us into.
Well, lucky for the Bulldogs, they've extended their season another 3 weeks by winning the regional with 199.5 points to Bloomington's 180. They will now wrestle in the team sectional Tuesday after the individual state tournament at Chatham-Glenwood. This is the Bulldogs' 6th straight regional championship and 10 sectional qualifiers. This is our final broadcast of the season for Bulldog TV. Thank you, everyone, for joining us all season. We really appreciate it. Okay. Oh, so we will not sign off yet. We will at least show the awards here in the gym. But once again, thank you for joining us all year. It's been my pleasure, Simon, working with you.
So yeah,
it's been a lot
Nick.
of fun. And so thank you all for joining us for this Bulldog Regional Championship broadcast.
Yeah, our voices will tune out, but we're going to go ahead and leave the stream running so those at home can, if you're watching somebody on your, you get the idea. Here come the results. Thanks for watching.
Nishida.
Thanks so much. You did great.
Your 113-pound award winner is in third place from Morton, Corey Hoyle. The runner-up from Danville, Demary Moore. And your champion from Bloomington, Chad Bellis. At 120 pounds, in third place from Normal West, Tyler Mackin. And your champion from Champaign Central, Carter Hall. The award winners at 126 pounds, in third place from Normal Midwest, Mustafa Kanfar. Your runner-up from Bloomington, Jacob Barber. And your champion from Mahomet Seymour, Noah Schnepper. £132 award winners. In third place from Champaign Centennial, TJ Easter. The runner-up from Mahomet Seymour, Jordan Heinold. And your champion from Normal West, Tommy Blair.
Tournament style with like actual names on the field. And both working fingerprints, so I didn't have to worry about it. Our leadership is good. Yeah. I was telling them, so I was on Twitter last night. Oh no, I met highlight from somebody who's regional must be on Friday.
Last Monday has so many teams now. They have Friday.
Well, they said, hey, share your clips, share your clips. Yeah, they were that, man. And I was just for a clip. Watch our 4-round live movie. And there were some shares there and stuff.
Award winners at 138 pounds. In third place from Normal West, Brock Lienerman. Your runner-up from Mahomet Seymour, Logan Petro. And your champion from Bloomington, Ryan Gardner. 145-pound award winner in third place from Bloomington, Logan Hilliard. The runner-up from Champaign Centennial, Roger Edwards. And your champion from Mahomet Seymour, Chance Decker.
Great job, thank you.
Thanks. I kept clicking the update team.
That's a live mic.
I kept clicking the update team. Well, no. They were looking at that one.
At 150 pounds, third place from Northwest, Kevin Geiger. The runner-up from Danville, Alicio Perez. And your champion from Mahomet Seymour, Gage Granadino. Award winners at 160 pounds in third place from Mahomet Seymour, Brendan Hauser. The runner-up from Royal West, Demetrius Turntime. And your champion from Champaign Central, Dalton Hall. At 170 pounds. In third place from Danville, Dominic Perez. The runner-up from Bloomington, Anthony Curry. And your champion from Morton, Kristen Parker.
Hey, that camera's live. Oh, really? Yeah, sorry about that.
£182 award winner in third place from Morton, Owen Gray. Your runner-up from Bloomington, Chase Rush. And your champion from Mahomet Seymour, Colton Crowley. Your award winners at 195 pounds. In third place from Northwest, Chris Meredith. Runner-up from Mahomet Seymour, Mateo Casillas. And your champion from Bloomington, Jack Weltham. Your 20-pound award winner. In third place from Urbana High School, Andre Hunt. Your runner-up from Mahomet Seymour, Daniel Renshaw. And your champion from Bloomington, John Brown.
That's what we do need.
And your heavyweight award winner in third place from Champaign Centennial, Carson Yates. Your runner-up from North Jersey West, Robert Huber. And your champion from Mahomet Seymour, Seth Buchanan.
Okay, Simon, I'm going to go mingle.
No worries.
I can do it next year.
What? I'm already committed. Yeah, that'd be great.
If you can think of creative ways to like
And he scores in today's round.
I don't know if that's in the
Eighth place, third place, champion Central. Sixth place, Danville. Fifth place, Morton. And fourth place, 81.5 point Champaign Centennial. In third place, with 151 points, Normal West.
No, the team section.
Your runner-up with 180 points, Bloomington High School, and your champion with 199.5 points, Mahomet Seymour.
All right, man. It's been
Thank you for attending the tournament and a safe trip home.
phone call or text or emails from me.
No, you're all awesome. I saw your email, like, oh my gosh, listen, look at this. You got all written down. It's sweet.
All right, have a good one, Simon. Hey, we need to hang out outside of this sometime.
Same.
Season over with.